Hi, everybody. I'm really honored to be here today to talk about my favorite subject, exercise. I have the absolute pleasure of working with the Parkinson's community every single day, and I get to see the profound impact that exercise has on this disease. So, as Dr. Hinkle said, my name's Melissa, and we have a gym up in Dublin that we focus just on people living with Parkinson's, where every day is a great day. The sun is always shining. It's always 70 degrees. I'm just kidding. But it is. It's a wonderful place. And the community around it, I just can't say enough great things about it. So we've all been sitting here for a little bit, so I thought it might be a good idea to wake everything up and move a little bit. You with me? I mean, control the excitement, but so if you're seated, just kind of push yourself back. If you're at home and want to stand up, you can stand up. Just make sure you have a little room. We are going to be leaning down a little, so watch those tables. It can be a little, that can hurt your head. We don't want anybody knocked out here. So for all you Buckeye fans, this will be something you really enjoy. So what we're going to do, we're going to use our arms and our voices, and we're going to spell out Ohio, okay? So turn everything on, get big.
Oh, for Penn State fans.
O-H-I-O. Okay, we're doing it again. O-H-I-O. One more time. O-H-I-O. Good job. So that felt kind of good, right? Let's start marching. Swing your arms. Yeah. Get those knees a little higher each time. Yeah, watch the tables. It doesn't feel very good. I've done that many times. All right, we're going to count up to 20. All right, by twos. You ready? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Keep going. We're going to go backwards now. Start at 20. 20, 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Good job. All right. If you're standing, make sure your feet are wide. We're going to do some jacks, but we're going to go one side at a time. So I want your right arm out wide and your right leg out wide. All right. And then switch it left and left. If you have a side that kind of is a little more inhibited, really push that arm out. Okay. We're just going to go right, left. Sometimes it helps to say it. Right, left. Good. Right, left, right, left. One more each side. Right, left. Good job. Okay, one more thing we're going to do. This is where you need to watch that table in front of you. Okay, feet are wide. We're going to reach down to the floor and reach all the way up to the ceiling. And we're going to follow our hands, okay? So squat down, because squatting is so good for us. Down and up. And now we're going to use our brain a little. And every time we reach up, we're going to say a vowel, forward and backwards. All right, you ready? Down. A. Beautiful. E. I. O, U, and sometimes Y. Now backwards, U, O, I, E, A. Good job. Now just roll those shoulders. That always feels good. Release a little tension in there. Switch directions. You guys did a great job. One more big inhale up. Exhale down. And you may sit down. Thank you for standing up and joining me. I'm sure all you all at home did the same thing, right? Okay, so the scoop on exercise. So you or someone you care about was diagnosed with Parkinson's. You were given a lot of information, a lot of material to read, a lot of stuff to go over. And oh yes, by the way, you need to exercise. So for some of you, it was probably the deer in the headlights, like, what? I don't do that. Or you might be one that said, well, I walk every day. Yeah, no problem. I exercise. Or maybe even you were one that said, I go to the gym, I exercise. So we're going to talk about, in a little bit, if that's really enough. All right. Yay. Okay, the facts. Exercise is an important part of healthy living for everyone. For those with PD, exercise is more than healthy. It's a vital component to maintaining balance, mobility, and activities of daily living. Research shows that exercise and physical activity can not only maintain and improve mobility, flexibility, and balance, but it also eases those non-motor symptoms that nobody likes to talk about, like depression and constipation. So when you exercise, it gives a little jolt to that pleasure part of your brain, where you feel happy, you feel motivated, and it also provides some hope. And to me, that's kind of a win-win, right? And I'm sure you've all have heard the little saying, it's by some famous physicians around the nation that says, if exercise could be packaged in a pill, it'd be the single most widely prescribed and beneficial medicine in the nation. If we could all just take a pill, right? It would be ideal. Okay, I love this slide. Exercise is medicine. So let's go a little further on what kind of exercises are recommended. Is that person that just walks every day, is that enough? The latest guidelines from the Parkinson's Foundation recommend 150 minutes of cardiovascular exercise along with 2 to 3 days of strength training. Along with that, balance and agility for that overall plan of attack. To have the most profound impact, exercise needs to be moderate to vigorous. And so you might be thinking, okay, Melissa, great. I know that, I've heard that, but I have no idea what moderate or vigorous can be. I don't have a watch that tells me my heart rate. How do I know? So I'm going to tell you a little story. This week, I challenged my class a little, and I put them through a little test. I said, okay, you guys, for 2 minutes, you're going to do your favorite cardio activity, whatever you want to do. We don't use machines, so any body weight cardio activity you want to do. 2 minutes, give it all you got. So 2 minutes went by, and I said, everybody, I want you to say, Miss Susie had a steamboat. Okay? Everybody said that with me. And I'm like, could you say it all? Could you say all those 5 words? Oh. So that's 5 words together, or 6 if you break up steamboat. But anyway, that's not good enough. We want you to be breathless. So breathless is you cannot say 5 or 6 words together. Okay, so they should not have been able to get all that out, all willy-nilly like that. So that was a little reality check. They didn't like me very much that day because we redid it then, and they did get breathless. But so the point is, if you're at the gym and you're on your elliptical and you're chatting with your neighbor or someone next to you, you're probably not breathless. You're probably not getting your heart rate to the intensity that we would like. So going on to that, further, it keeps getting better. People that exercise regularly report a better overall quality of life. I mean, another win-win, right? And you may be wondering, when is the best time to exercise? And that seems like a silly question, right? But if you're on any sort of medication, we prefer you to exercise during your on periods when you feel your best and your medication is optimized. You're going to move better, you're going to feel better, and you're going to be able to go longer. Okay. Don't be a couch potato. Inactivity leads to neurodegeneration. We don't want that. So use it or lose it. I'm sure you've all heard that before. And it's never too late. You are not too old, and it's never too late. I've had people come to me in their mid-70s, and they say, I don't want to exercise. I've never exercised. I don't want to be here. And now they're doing pretty amazing things. So sometimes, like we were talking about with the apathy, it just takes a little nudge of someone that you care about or a community to kind of get you moving in the right direction. You are capable of so many things. Even if you've never exercised a day in your life, it's never too late. That's one of my final tips here. So Moving on, helpful tips. Some of these are pretty obvious. The best way to see benefits is to exercise on a consistent basis. What we see, what through research, what I see is the people that are exercising more, they're doing a lot better. So the people that are exercising 7 days a week are feeling better and doing better than the people that are exercising 3 or 4 days a week. Likewise, the people that are exercising 3 or 4 days a week are doing better than the ones that are just maybe walking or exercising 1 or 2 days a week. When it comes to exercise and PD, the greater intensity may have greater benefits. The more you do, the more you benefit. Regardless of your condition, always stretch, warm up, and cool down. And exercise in a way that is safe for you. Know your limits. Also, I mean, it should be the obvious, but it's always worth mentioning. Make sure you have the okay by your physician to exercise at this intensity. Okay. Oh, keep going. I went off my notes. So I would be remiss not to mention the absolute incredible opportunity you have to join a group fitness class. So if you look at the research for the progression of Parkinson's long term, one of the top 3 things that show how quickly someone will progress, are they exercising, are they socially connected, and their diet. So why not kill 2 birds with 1 stone, right? If you're in a community, you're able to talk with other people, you feel more connected, and we're super fortunate here in Central Ohio to have all these amazing community-based programs. Here at this beautiful center, there are many, and I'm sure they'll talk about that here in a little bit. The YMCAs around Central Ohio have programs, and we're branching out further. PDNextSteps up in Dublin, we have exercise classes 6 days a week. If you don't know where to begin, look at the Parkinson's Foundation website, look at the Ohio Health website, the Michael J. Fox website. There are many opportunities out there to get your body moving. Talk to your movement disorder specialist, ask a physical therapist. Just search, find it. They're out there. People want to help. Okay. And the one thing, and I will say this, I guess the best part of being in a community, some of the things I've heard is, this feels like home, or this is my safe place. And you can talk to other people that get it, that maybe you're having a rough day, you don't feel good, but you still come show up and you can talk with your peers about how you're feeling, and then after the class, you're feeling much better and ready to start your day. So the community aspect is incredibly, incredibly important. Okay. In summary, work on moving big, speaking big, and living big. As Michael J. Fox said, I don't have a choice whether or not I have Parkinson's, but surrounding that are a million choices that I do have. So choose to move your body intently every day. Choose yourself, because that's only going to help you long term feel better, have a better quality of life. And finally, you are not too old. It's not too late. It will greatly impact your life. So keep moving, because you can. Oops. Oh, look, I messed up on that one. There. I got to start over. I don't think anybody wants that. So thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Does anyone want to do some squats or anything?
There are some online questions for you.
Oh, boy.
Maybe let's do this. Good comments about repeating the questions by us,
Okay.
so that they can be heard. It sounds like I'm on speaker, so in theory, the people online can hear the question. So one question, aren't forms of exercise that may not have the cardiovascular benefits like yoga, tai chi, walking also beneficial?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, and that's the thing, you have to find something that you enjoy doing. What we recommend is that, and maybe you can speak a little bit to that too, what it does when we raise the heart rate up.
Maybe I can.
Maybe you can. Sorry, not to put you on the spot, but
Probably the exercise physiologist in the group. So yeah, I'm more of a, having read about this than actual in the trenches teaching it and doing it, but kind of the recipe or the prescription, so to speak, for exercise is still being figured out. And actually the intensity question is a big one, and there's a very large clinical trial going on right now called Sparks 3 to try to figure that out. And we're actually part of that study here at Ohio Health. So understanding the heart rate aerobic question, do you really have to be almost killing yourself to get benefit? Maybe not. Maybe more moderate exercise is equally beneficial. So that's being looked into. The prescription tends to be exactly like you said. My impression of what I've read is 20 to 30 minutes, getting the heart rate up 3 to 4 times a week for the cardiovascular component, the
strength training.
aerobic component. I couldn't come up with the word. The aerobic component, but also at least 2 times a week strength training and 2 times a week balance training. So that's kind of the ideal that the people that study this. So when you talk about yoga, tai chi, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And the benefit of doing something you're enjoying. I mean, a lot of people that I work with like to do boxing classes because they get to beat up on a bag, but it's also cognitive. You have to do the combinations, and there's some strength and very aerobic. Plus, it's fun to kind of do that. So whatever you're doing to be active is super helpful. And walking, absolutely. I've gotten to a point where my knees and back are so bad I can't run anymore, which I was never a good runner, but it's caused me to become a larger man, unfortunately, which makes it even worse. But walking is all I can really do. And so I'll get out and I'll try to do it fast enough that I'm breathing a little bit, and then it's not killing me, and I'm not limping at the end. So I'll actually do that. So I think that's important. Another question.
Just one more thing, sorry.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You guys, just to be honest, I mean, all of us as aging adults should be following this kind of exercise regime, if you will. We need to be strength training. We need to keep that. We don't want that age-related muscle loss. So this is not like something that's like, oh, because I have Parkinson's, I need to be doing this thing. No, as aging adults, we all need to be doing this. So grab a friend, get your family member
that's
out.
very correct. There are published studies in people in their 80s and people in their 90s that doing strength training can actually increase strength and increase muscle mass, even in your 90s. So it's kind of like if you're alive, you should be doing this because it does help. And I have seen people in my practice who got to exercising and they came back 6 months later, and I was looking to see what medication did I put you on because you're looking a lot better. And the medication was exercise, and they were not only thinking better, emotionally feeling better, but just in better shape. And I know from my constant battle with being sort of in shape and very out of shape that I just feel better. I feel healthier when I'm in better shape. So it's kind of like when you're done, then you're done exercising. And I'll also comment that I have had some people who are trying to exercise their Parkinson's away by doing 4 hours of horrific training every day and then kind of licking their wounds and recovering the rest of the day. You also want to work, from my own experience, once you are over 40, things are just a little bit different and everything hurts more now. It takes me about 2 hours to get out of shape, and it takes me about 4 months to get back in shape. And my 20-year-old kid, he just thinks about getting in shape and he's in shape. It just changes. So it's something that you build in gradually. You work within yourself. and it's a long-term goal. And I really do think that people who are building in these practices at 60 and 70 are going to do better 80 and 90.
Right.
We've got more, you're optimizing what you have, you're building your muscles, you're staying flexible, you're giving a foundation for optimal function as you get older. I've seen incredible benefits from many N of 1 experiments of the people that I work with. The other question here, I think we've kind of answered, but how long should the cardio workout last? 10 minutes at a time, more or less? And
I mean, that's to each, it's, if you've met one person with Parkinson's, you've met one person with Parkinson's. So if you can do if you have the stamina for 10 minutes and you want to do 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the afternoon and 10 minutes in the evening, hey, more power to you. You're moving. So be proud of that fact. That's probably more than most people are doing. So yeah, whatever kind of thing you can fit it into your day when you feel good and you're safe about it, go for it. I did think of one quick story though, and then I'll excuse myself.
sorry, you're done.
Sorry. I had a gal in my group. She's 82, and she came to me last week. She said, "Oh my gosh, Melissa, I have to tell you this story. I was out to lunch with my girlfriends, and there were 7 of us, and we all graduated high school together, and they meet once a month for lunch." And she said her napkin fell on the floor. They were at a table. Her napkin. She bent down to get it. Just bent down, picked it up, and they all looked at her and they said, "I can't believe you just did that." I mean, just simple things like that. I mean, she did have to kind of slide off her chair, because I said, "Well, what kind of chair?" I was, kind of pegging for a little more information. But I thought that is really, it's just stuff like that you don't realize because and she came to me never exercising before. So she didn't think anything of it. So exercise is very profound. So keep moving that body. Do I have to leave now? Okay. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
So why don't we